Hello my stitches! We'll make a beautiful jacket today out of a scrap of a fabric. This fabric is less than 1 meter. Anybody can cut a dress from a new fabric length, but you need some imagination or a pattern to cut from scrap. So if you also have some fabric which is like in these stitches and bits and scraps and everything and doesn't have a required fabric length, then you can cut your jacket this way. So you'd be needing the required length, and if you don't have the length, then you can make some panels or you can make some joints. Even to cut the jacket, either you can keep your old t-shirt on this folded fabric and you can mark keeping 1 inch extra from outside, and you can just outline with the chalk keeping your old t-shirt. In some of my old videos I've shown how to cut keeping an old t-shirt, and you get the exact measurements what you want. Otherwise, using the same bodice measurements what we used in umbrella frock bodies, you keep the shoulders 7.5. You keep neck length as 2.5, back neck length is 3.5, front neck length is 3 inch. Now you shape the neck. So you shape your front neck, and then we mark armhole length, that is 7.5. Waist length is 14.5, and total length is 17 that we want. So we keep 1 inch extra, that is 18 we keep. Now we extend these marks. Chest is chest into 4 plus 1.5 inch. In this case we are keeping 9.5, same as we kept in umbrella bodies, umbrella frock bodies. And waist we'll be keeping 1 inch less than chest, and our bottom of this jacket is, it falls above hips, so we keep same as chest. At the bottom of this jacket, we keep 3/4 inch extra. This 3/4 inch extra would be only towards front of the jacket. The back side we would cut later. We join this 3/4 inch extra that we kept with the middle with the side, and we'll join the sides, but before that we mark the armhole. We take this 1 inch less than the shoulder, that is 6.5. We keep ½ inch down from the shoulder. Join both these marks. Take middle of that and take half of this from middle and make front armhole. Keeping about ½ inch out, we mark back armhole. And now we join the sides. From the sides we keep 1 inch out as seam allowance. You can keep it more also, maybe 1.5 or 2 inch. If you think that you are going to make it alter or make it loose later, so you can keep it even 2 inch, but right now I'm keeping it 1 inch considering the fabric that I have. And from here I make this mark for princess cut. Though this princess line is from the middle of the armhole, but we can make it from the sides also. Now we cut the outline of this jacket. First the first the back neck. We cut the back neck, this 3/4 inch that we kept. Then the shoulders, back armhole, see there's difficulty in handling this fabric because it's cut uneven. But when you cut from a new fabric, you don't face problem in calculating the fabric. So you cut the back armhole and the outside of this seam allowance, the outlines that you made. Okay, and then you cut the slightly curvy bottom. You can see that towards the sides of this jacket we don't have much fabric. This fabric is half cut, half is there, and the back side we have enough fabric for the sides. So while cutting this princess cut, we'll take that off and we'll make a cut from the new fabric for the side panels of front bodies. So we separated these side panels. See, this is not right, and only two pieces are right, which are of the back bodies, and both the sides are spoiled, they are not proper. So we need to cut them from this extra fabric. We keep the back side panels. We are cutting two pieces. See, we'll keep the fabric this way only, like facing each other, or both right sides out or both right sides in, and then we make mark and we'll cut the outline of this panel. These are two extra panels, two extra pieces of the panels that we need for the front bodies, front jacket part. Now cut these two pieces on the line. See how perfectly it fits with the front panel, front jacket part. These two parts would fit like this. Now we have separated the back part, and we'll cut this 3/4 inch that we had kept earlier from the back part, because in the back part we don't want it like slanting in the middle. So we'll make it straight. We can mark it or we can cut it freehand also. Keep all pieces together, either pin them or nicely place them in such a way so that you get them back while you'll be stitching. This is the front panel, front part, and in this we'll be cutting the neck, the front neck, and the armhole, the curve of the armhole, and we'll separate it from the middle fold because we want our jacket to be open from the middle. So first of all, we keeping the side panel 1/4 inch on this front. We'll be cutting the armhole. See, while cutting any fabric, we don't need to move the fabric so much, but just to show you clearly how I'm doing it all, I have to move the fabric so much. But while you'll be cutting, you don't need to move it that much, because moving just displaces your pieces and it distorts the cutting. So this is the front piece of the jacket with the panels, and we keep them together. This part we'll be using as a jacket. It is 4.5 inch wide and the whole of neck. So once you join the shoulders, thereafter only you cut the collar. The collar you can cut as a Peter Pan, which I have already shown in one of my videos earlier while I made a video about shirt. So you keep these pieces aside, and now we cut the facing for the front jacket part. This facing is required to give you a nice turn around type of collar. So I fold it and cut the extra pieces. Now on top of it, place the front part of the jacket that is cut from the middle, and placing it from the folds, you have to cut a panel of, it is a facing, in fact it is a facing for about 3 inch wide and as long as your front of this jacket. Now you mark the neck, same, it will be cut same as the front, only 3.5 inch or 3 inch wide. After marking, you have to cut 3 inch wide long fabric pieces for facing for both the parts. This right side as well as left side. There would be 2 pieces of this facing. You can cut this facing in contrast fabric also, so your collar would look in a different color. If you cut it in contrast, if you cut it in matching, it will be the same as your outer side of your jacket. And the width of this facing is dependent on the shoulder. It should be at least a ½ inch less than your shoulder. Now I show you how it looks after placing all the pieces together. So you put the these right sides of the jacket with the panels, with the facing, and this is exactly how it would be stitched. Now we stitch all these pieces, so we keep these panels and these facings together this way, and now I'd show you how to stitch. If you are doing it for the first time, you can use a basting stitch or you can use a pin. You can pin them all together, or if it is in a fabric which is like front and back are looking similar, so you can mark with a chalk so that you don't mix with the color of the fabric or the size of the fabric. So we hold one piece of the panel with the sides and start stitching, starting from the top till the end. While stitching the panels, because they are a little bit curvy, So we pull them a little bit to fit them with the main middle side of the fabric. We need to pull these shorter part a little bit to fit with the other side, the longer part. After stitching it, we'll make a top stitch, keeping the joint towards the outer side and keeping our pressure foot in the middle of this joint. We make a long stitch 1 millimeter away from the middle. But the pressure foot is in the middle of it is on the middle of this joint. In the same manner, we'll stitch all the side panels of front and back and make the top stitches the same way. As a top stitch, you can also use anchor thread technique, which I shared earlier, and that looks very interesting. If you make a top stitch along the line with anchor thread. For panels, you can use contrasting or matching fabrics, and you can use piping on this joint to make it look more dramatic. If you find it a little bit difficult to start from the top, then you can start from the bottom side also. It will be easier for you because it is a straight stitch from the lower side and you have to just pull from the upper side. But the top stitch you have to make the same way. The fabric would be outside and you just make top stitch on this and it will give the same effect. Now we join the shoulders. Stitch on this the same way what you made on panels, it looks a very professional and neat finish. So I make a top stitch on the shoulder stitches also. We fold the outer side of the facing or we overcast them. We can interlock or overstitch the sides. Now we stitch this facing, keeping it in the front side of the jacket. Starting from the neck, we'll go around this neck and till the end of this bottom of the jacket, we'll stitch all around it. We repeat the same with the other part of the facing and front part of the jacket. Once this facing is stitched, you can see this way, we'll just fold this corner and turn it So this facing would turn towards inside and the nicer part would come outside. Same process other side also. Take out this out, and from the bottom also turn it and keeping the nice side out. Now we'll attach the collar. Using the drafting shown in my Peter Pan collar tutorial, you can make this collar. This collar is already finished from its bound by all the sides and no threads are coming out, so I can just keep it this way to all the sides of the collar, the neck of the bodice, and I can just simply stitch it. One thing, if you are starting collar stitching first time, or like you're not very perfect in that, you can start from the middle of this neck and then stitch half right and half left of this collar. You can use a scarf collar, shirt collar, or as I've already shown you, Peter Pan collar, and you can make it this way and turn it inside or outside, and it would give a perfect look. Once the collar is done, we don't have to do much. We have to just fold the armholes that you can do by using a bias tape as I shown in earlier video, or you can just simply fold it inside about half an inch and stitch all around this armhole, both the sides right and left, and finish your armholes nicely. After doing the armhole, we stitched from the sides. I had kept 1 inch from the side, but even if you kept 2 inch, then you just mark that how much you have to keep inside, and binding from the corner, you stitch straight till the bottom. Later on, if you want or you need it, you can make this jacket loose as well. Repeat the same process with the other side of the sleeve also. Fold it all nicely till the end, and doing it all down, you stitch the sides, and now a major part is done. We have to just stitch on top of the facing and fold the bottom. Make sure the other side is also as much stitched as you had done that side. You can measure and check the width from the sides, so your sides are equally stitched. Now the final part, we make a top stitch on this facing, the outer side, or you can start from inside, but I am making it from the outside, and starting from this side till the bottom, we'll fold the bottom about half inch inside, and till the very end we'll finish this top stitch. So nicely and neatly fold all around this jacket, and your final part would be done. That's it. You're like stitching all around this bottom. I kept very less fabric under it because I was short of fabric, but if you have more, you can keep about 1.5 inch. In my next videos, I'd show you how to make this jacket using the interfacing. In this jacket, because I had less fabric, so I didn't make the interfacing. So I'm just folding it, and it's a nice light half jacket which I can just carry over any pullover or any dress, and it's nice to wear and easy to make. I hope you enjoyed the video. To encourage me make more good videos for you, please like, comment, share with your friends so they also learn something interesting. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and keep watching. Goodbye.